Rightio, here we are. Coffee and an insight cookie, right? This is for the fellas who are feeling in despair, or anyone. We just take the gender out of the equation. But I started with that because I'm a fella having a realization about something. And it's worthy of the share. From where I am, I feel this has the potential to give you something to grasp onto, to hang on to pull yourself up out of that feeling of sadness, the feeling of sorrow, that despair. So I'm sitting here, this coffee number 2. I had a moment thinking about a couple of people, because their name is on one of my fenders. Well, the name of the fender, the brand of the fender is the same name. Okay. So I have a little boy out there that I helped create. And I was having to think, how's he doing? How's his mum? These type of things. Will I ever see him? Will I ever take the action to entice the potential of even just seeing a photo? And then there was a sadness about because it's a loss. And then I took a moment. I went, rightio. So this is the part about the evolution of the self, where I start to ask myself the question, why are you sad? What is it that's making you sad about this? Loss was a word. Failure. I failed. I didn't get things right. Like I didn't win. So on and so forth. So maybe that's a bit of, what's that called? Feeling sorry for yourself. A bit of self-pity. That could be a bit pitiful. And I'm just going through the process of understanding what is the trigger of the sadness, what brings tears into my eyes. Because if I keep feeling sad about this, I'm not learning from it. I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to elevate. So there's things to do here on the boat, so we get on with it. Pump out the bilge, pump out the kayak. There's been some decent wind and swell coming through here. And the boat's a shambles. It's a shambles. And as I'm looking around, there's things that I want to do. I want to redesign the boat. And I just got to get on with it and just create. And I'm going to lead in now. That I'm going to give you that bit of rope or that bit of ladder to pull yourself up. Create. And I was like, I think I know why I feel sad when I think about the little boy. Biologically, technically, yes, he's my son. But I haven't taken on the responsibility to actually be the dad, you see. And so the sadness comes from and this is a truth now, realizing that, wow, it's my lack. It's a lack of confidence in myself to recreate that. Recreate what? Recreate that which I feel sad about was with another person. So that's the only reason that the sadness is there, is because not moving on with myself. And then it comes back to, once again, how does that all come about? How do I recreate? How do I fix things up? It's the willingness to get on with it. It's the willingness. And that's what I am observing with myself. This statement, realization, this observation keeps surfacing. It keeps going through this like recirculation. The willingness to put after that whatever you want. The willingness to look after your mind, your spirit, your emotions, to have joyful experiences, to have adventures, to put yourself in these adversities, these fight or flight moments, these moments of frustration, which doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? And all I can say on that is it leads you towards this refinement of what it is that I really want to be, or who I want to be, or what is it that I think life is about. So in the frustration is the refinement. But I'll never know that unless I'm willing to. And even willing to create a space. It may not be that I am required to willing be overly active or in the activeness. The activeness could be I'm actively allowing a space for a newness to be created in, because I'm come back to the willingness to just focus on myself, to be the person that has the capacity and the abilities to actually nurture that space, one, and then anything that comes into that space that feeds the joy, that I can protect that. I have the ability to protect that and to nurture that and to be wise enough to see that there's something there to protect, and then man enough, willing enough to protect it, to nurture it, and to create laws around that, so that if anyone in that or coming into that interferes with the joy, I say, hey, we don't do that around here. And these are the things that I've failed to do. So it's a classic case of sometimes one's wisdom can only occur through the accumulation of observation of foolish choices. Yeah. So there you go, fellas. And it may be something simple like how it's been for me. My physique, a sadness over the way I look, the sadness of how I've let myself go. And there's a video in there where I'm like, wow, man, I don't know if I'll put that video up. But I will, because I'm not going to attach myself to my current state, if that makes sense. I'm going to separate myself and say, well, I'm in the process, I'm in the transition, the transformation, I'm in the agreement of the willingness to alter the way I look, to alter the way I think, to elevate it, to alter it into an elevation. Something better, something good, something great, something brilliant, whatever it is in its capacity, you see. So, these moments when I get sad and I see a name and I wonder though, is that a cue? Is that a cue? I just put it out there. Tickle the potential. There's a potential, apparently, that all that is perceivable that brings forth a benefit into one's reality already exists. See the difference between a believable potential and a fantasy is what I'm understanding. That'll be just the clothes hanging up there if you're wondering what that is. Finally get some dry clothes, you beauty. So the next time you're feeling sad, ask the question, and that may be what it is. That, as it is for me, my realization, the lack of belief and confidence in my abilities to recreate that which I feel sad about. Does that make sense? Like, you got to actually be careful. I don't want to recreate that again. Guys, it feels because having a little family, in whatever definition that is. But having the female companionship, the female affection and intimacy and friendship, understanding that there's a friendship, the friendship, there's so many things that I was reluctant to prioritize, and that's the key too. What I've realized is I had my priorities all about face. I was too busy being in the want and the need to saturate myself in the lustfulness of it all. And the truth be told, I sent her an email. I was like, I was really just a boy, and it's unfortunate. You're recreating a life with another person. You can't be a boy about it. So there's the sadness comes from the boy, the little boy part. I've lost, you see. So that's the coffee and cookie of insight for this day. Be good, be great, be brilliant. Be the best that you can. Do what you can with what you have to lead you towards that which you seek to obtain, achieve, and or acquire.